Hello students, welcome to the lecture on electronic commerce and management, and after this lecture we will be able to learn the following objectives. Describe the 7 dimensions of an e-commerce strategy, discuss about major e-commerce application and their functionalities, explain the business process, re-engineering and best practices, describe the infrastructure and e-commerce support services. Let's start with the introduction. Electronic commerce remains a relatively new, emerging and constantly changing area of business management and information technology. There has been and continues to be much publicity and discussion about e-commerce. There remains a sense of confusion, suspicions and misunderstanding surrounding the area, which has been exacerbated by the different contexts in which electronic commerce is used. Coupled with the myriad related buzzwords and acronyms, this aims to consolidate the major themes that have arisen from the new area of electronic commerce and to provide an understanding of its application and importance to management. EDI is the electronic transfer of a standardized business transaction between a sender and receiver computer over some kind of private network or value-added network (VAN). Both sides would have to have the same application software and the data would be exchanged in extremely rigorous format. With the advent of the internet, the term e-commerce began to include electronic trading of physical goods and of intangibles such as information, all the steps involved in trade such as online marketing, ordering, payment and support for delivery, the electronic provision of services such as after-sales support or online legal advice, electronic support for collaboration between companies such as collaborative online design and engineering or virtual business consultancy teams. Some of the definition of e-commerce often heard and found in publication and the media are: electronic commerce (EC) is where business transactions take place via telecommunication networks, especially the internet. Electronic commerce describes the buying and selling of products, services and information via computer networks including the internet. Electronic commerce is about doing business electronically. E-commerce or electronic commerce is defined as a conduct of a financial transaction by electronic means. Let us now discuss 7 dimensions of an e-commerce strategy. They represent a variety of industry sectors ranging from manufacturing to service, whose origins range from the most established and traditional of blue-chip companies to born-on-the-net startups. 4 positional factors: technology, service, market, brand. 3 bonding factors: leadership, infrastructure, organizational learning. It can be argued that the model can be applied to all forms of organization in the traditional industrial and service sectors. This is in fact true, and it is an intentional component of the model's construction. Let us now discuss the bonds of an e-commerce strategy. The foundation of a strong e-commerce strategy lie in the preparation of the ground before the functional issues are addressed. In this, we will consider 3 of those issues: leadership, infrastructure, and organizational learning. The creation of successful e-commerce can reap major rewards for an organization. Failure can mean that even the most senior managers are vulnerable and frequently are replaced following an e-commerce strategy failure. Clearly, there is a strong interaction between these 3 components. For instance, when eBay had its outages, the leadership learned from the experience, upgraded a system infrastructure and moved on. Leadership, it has shown that the primary drivers of change and the creators of strategic vision in an organization are the CEO and senior executives, a finding mirrored in this research. In every successful e-commerce project, strong project champion was present in the form of senior executive or someone in a position to demonstrate to a senior executive the potential added value such as project could bring to the organization. The market for intellectual capital in the form of experienced, proven and successful leadership has never been more extreme. The lesson for executives here are clear. Keep an open mind with regard to all new technologies. Do not get isolated from new and experimental technologies that are coming over the technology horizon. Encourage a songs, words, are quickly thrown together in-house research team thinking and philosophy. Be ready to make the necessary amount of change in corporate strategy as indicated by the seismic shock wave of the technology. Infrastructure. Once the need to develop e-commerce in some form had been identified, the single most important issue facing the executives and technologists charged with developing internet-based project is infrastructure. This spans the technology spectrum from a single internet file server connected to a commercial internet service provider ISP all the way to the information intense online transaction processing of a company. Infrastructure also includes a growing set of online partners and tools utilized by customers to improve its efficiency at both the B2C and B2B levels. The infrastructure needs to be considered at several levels: strategic, organizational, physical. Organizational learning. The ability of established organization to react, understand and deploy an e-commerce solution is very dependent upon the ability of an organization to effectively leverage its organizational learning. Organizational learning occurs through shared insights, knowledge and mental model builds on past knowledge and experience, that is, on memory. Organizational learning, however, is not an isolated process. It is clearly linked to our earlier discussion on leadership. The learning that occurs in formulating and creating brand, technology, market and service leadership position, as well as the interconnection between these focuses are just as important as, if not more important than the individual elements themselves. Several key drivers with regard to organizational learning can be gleaned. Create an environment that stimulates and fosters organizational learning. This is vital not only for the successful introduction of technology, but for long-term organizational survival. Organizational learning has to have a focus, and that focus has to be driven from the strategic objectives of the organization as a whole. Taken one at a time in the areas of brand, technology, service, and market, and then combined to provide holistic learning. Organizational learning creates an environment of positive change and continuous process refinement. Should this not be present, organizational inertia will cause the organization to stall in flight. Let us now discuss major e-commerce application and their functionalities. Once it has been determined that a business can benefit from an online presence, the business type, the product line, the business, organization, and the budget dictate what functionality the website should have and how the website should be developed. Companies can choose from a number of different types of websites, including B2C, B2B, exchanges, and the like. B2C storefronts. An electronic storefront must support the same tasks that a physical store supports. In particular, an electronic storefront, a seller's website where purchases can be made, needs to offer certain capabilities to buyers and to the merchant. In order to provide these capabilities, an electronic storefront should have the following function. A product presentation function provides a customer with information about the product through the user interface or the browser. The information presented can include product advertisement, detailed product specification, product views, and sample product presentation. This function can include additional features such as language selection, product search, and customization for customer preferences. An order entry function allows the customer to place an order for selected products. Information about each product ordered is added to the electronic shopping cart, which is a database of orders in process. This function is linked to the enterprise inventory system in order to check product availability. It also requires access to the enterprise customer database to update and use customer data. An electronic payment function enables the customer to pay for the order and thus complete the transaction. Payment options may include credit card, debit card, COD, check before delivery, and invoice after delivery. Security is very important in the electronic payment function. The function should provide the necessary security through Secure Socket Layer SSL Secure Electronic Transaction (SET) or some other protocol, and customers should be apprised of the security provisions. An order fulfillment function provides for the delivery of the product to the customer. The delivery can be digital for products such as music, software, and information. These functions link to the enterprise inventory system so that the inventory database can be updated when the order is fulfilled. A customer service function provides assistance to customers who have problems or questions related to the purchasing process. Options for providing customer service include FAQs, toll-free telephone numbers, email, and chat rooms. The product support function provides assistance to the customer after the product has been received. This support may include initial setup and installation, regular operation, troubleshooting, return policy, ongoing maintenance, and warranty or non-warranty repair or replacement.
So in my example, I have a company called ABC Company. ABC Company sells different things like hardware, games, DVD, gadgets, and all those things. And whenever you go to their front page, which is catalog page, you will see exactly something like this. So a product and the price. And then if you like some product or something, let's say you want to buy a Samsung tab, so you click on this, and then you just review, information about this thing, and then you say that okay, I like it, and then you add to the cart, and you want one item, or if you want multiple items, you can put it here, and then you say checkout. So if you check out, and then it will ask you if you are a new customer or returning customer. Let's say I'm a new customer, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to create an account. Okay, so I'm going to create an account here. So first name is John, and last name is Kalmar, and date of birth, let's say something about 93 June 15, and email address john@gmail.com, and then I'll give my address because that's where they're going to send, and let's say send is in 786 Palo Alto Avenue, and then postcode is 98765, city is Palo Alto, state California, and then country is US. Okay, and then I have to give my telephone number, say just give some random numbers, and then give my password. I say password is welcome on, and then I say continue. Okay, so account has been created, and then remember and I say continue. So, and if I continue, then it will ask me what is the shipping method, and then I say that flat rate, $5 shipping method, and then I say comments, please send me ASAP, and say continue. This is the billing address. They're going to send me the gadgets, and then I say that I'll give you money when you deliver, so cash on delivery. Also I can use PayPal and whatever. Okay, and I say continue, and I say confirm order. Okay, so your order has been processed, and then they are basically sending me a Samsung Galaxy Tab. Okay, I say continue.
Let us now discuss some tips on e-commerce web hosts and solution. Best e-commerce web hosts have been created by the best hosting providers to help site owners and to find the best hosting solution. This provides articles on a big range of issues of e-commerce hosting and e-commerce software. This includes practical reviews of accommodation, assessment, and other issues of e-commerce. What is e-commerce web hosting? It is a type of hosting which is suitable for small business sites and large corporate websites. Web hosting is essential. Electronic commerce is defined in the sale and purchase of goods on the internet. There are differences between the cost of web hosting and e-commerce hosting. What is included in it? It should have the same characteristic of cheap web hosting functionality with few additions. Some of the features include in it are SSL. SSL stands for Secure Sockets Layer. This is a level of encryption which makes the site safer for doing business. Shopping cart. Shopping cart software is required for any business site that sells projects to its topic. Promotional credits. These are also several websites it can advertise and be exposed to more traffic. Product catalog. If these sell e-commerce website, they need to sort some catalog of products. Back-end support. E-commerce host believes it is important that the hosting plan includes e-commerce web kind of support. Now let us talk about business process reengineering and best practices. Enterprise Resource Planning ERP and Business Process Reengineering BPR evolved almost at the same time. Both relates to radical redesign of an organization at a relatively short period. Both are having the primary intent to optimize workflow and improve productivity. But the chicken and egg question remain. Whether an organization re-engineering business process before implementing ERP or directly implement ERP and re-engineering by adopting standard business process, including in the ERP package. What is business process re-engineering BPR? BPR means not only change but radical change within a short period. This change is achieved by complete revamp of organizational structure, business process workflow, job description, performance measurement and adoption of information technology. Some of the basic characteristics of BPR are: view business as a set of customer, both internal and external, oriented processes rather than a set of departmental function. Processes must have clear-cut ownership. Non-value adding activities within a process should be eliminated. Gather information only once at the point of origin. Implementation phases, project kicked off, project goal, project team and communication standards are agreed upon. A number of workshops are held where project scope, sponsor commitment, project risk, milestones and deliverers are discussed. Assault, strength, weakness, opportunities and threat analysis are carried out with active participation of all. Process identification and data gathering. As is, processes are assembled through flowcharts. Current practice of interfacing with business partners is gathered. Bottlenecks, delays, complexity, internal blame games, idle asset, etc. are brought forward. Process reengineering. In this phase, actual reengineering begins. A number of brainstorming sessions are held with project team and other stakeholders where current business processes are critically analyzed to determine non-value adding activities and identify excess control and check, always with customer value as a focal point. Blueprint of new system. Blueprinting involves modeling workflow and information requirement of new business processes. To be processes are modeled using various modeling tools. Transformation. A migration strategy and a migration plan is the first step of transformation. Migration strategy may decide as a pilot phased or big bang implementation. BPR or ERPF or successful of BPR implementation. Information technology plays the role of a key enabler. Therefore, a question is raised whether it is logically to directly implement ERP and re-engineer business processes by adopting world-class practices contained in ERP packages. Transaction processing. The term transaction processing within an e-commerce environment is the process of an online shop or e-commerce website accepting and processing a customer's credit or debit card payment online and in real time in return for goods or services. During the online transaction process, the merchant's payment system will automatically connect to the customer's bank or credit card company, carry out security, fraud and validity checks and subsequently authorize and take the payment.
In this video, we'll explore process reengineering, specifically business process reengineering. What is it and how did it come about?
Well, business process reengineering, or BPR, is a management approach aiming at improvements by means of elevating efficiency and effectiveness of the processes that exist within and across organizations. The key to BPR is for organizations to look at their business processes from a clean slate perspective and determine how they can best construct these processes to improve how they conduct business.
Let's kick it!
In 1990, Michael Hammer, a former professor of computer science at MIT, published an article in the Harvard Business Review. Hammer's claim was simple: most of the work being done does not add any value for customers, and this work should be removed, not accelerated through automation. Instead, companies should reconsider their processes in order to maximize customer value while minimizing the consumption of resources required for delivering their product or service. This idea to unbiasedly review a company's business processes was rapidly adopted by a huge number of firms, which are striving for renewed competitiveness, which they had lost due to the market entrance of foreign competitors, their inability to satisfy customer needs, and their insufficient cost structure. By definition, reengineering is radical change, fast. Reengineering is a fundamental rethinking and transformation of an integrated set of business processes. Reengineering requires not only a redesign of business processes, but a concurrent examination and redesign of the information technologies and organization that support these processes. Well, you might think to yourself, isn't this process improvement? Typically, process improvements fall into three categories: quick hits, incremental improvements, and re-engineering. Quick hits. These are typically low-risk, easily achievable efforts that provide immediate payback opportunities, typically within a few months. Incremental improvement. This focuses on closing small performance gaps, delivers small degrees of change that achieve small but meaningful business results. Re-engineering. This demonstrates breakthrough thinking and aims for dramatic business results. Unlike quick hits and incremental improvements, re-engineering is a form of organizational change characterized by dramatic process transformation.
Let us now discuss infrastructure and e-commerce support services. For e-commerce application to succeed, it is necessary to provide them with all the needed support. This is not a simple task because of the large number of issues to be considered and the large number of companies and government agencies that may be involved. Here we present some major issues in e-commerce support. First, an infrastructure must be in place. E-commerce transaction must be executable worldwide without any delay or mistake. Some transactions involve several trading partners requiring a more complex infrastructure. Second, electronic payment issues must be addressed. Payments need to be secure, convenient, fast and inexpensive to process. Third, order fulfillment and related logistics must be in place. Several other services ranging from website connect to security are needed. E-commerce infrastructure. E-commerce infrastructure requires a variety of hardware, software and networks. The major components are networks, web server support and software electronic catalogs, web page design, construction software, transactional software and internet access components. Electronic payment. Payments are an integral part of doing business, whether in the traditional way or online. Unfortunately, in most cases, traditional payment systems are not effective for EC. Limitation of traditional payment instruments. No electronic payment methods such as using cash, writing a check, sending a money order or giving our credit card number over the telephone have several limitations in EC. First, cash cannot be used because there is no face-to-face contact. Second, if payment is sent by mail, it takes time for it to be received. Even if a credit card number is provided by phone or fax, it takes time to process it. Nor is it convenient to have to switch from the computer to the phone to complete a transaction. Also, not everyone accepts credit cards or checks, and some buyers do not have credit cards or checking accounts. Another issue is that many EC transactions are valued at only a few dollars or cents. Cost of processing such micro payments needs to be very low. Would not want to pay INR 250 to process a purchase valued at only a few rupees. Now in the end, let us summarize what we have learned in this lecture. Electronic commerce describes the buying and selling of product services and information via computer networks including the internet. Electronic commerce is about doing business electronically. The foundation of a strong e-commerce strategy lies in the preparation of the ground before the functional issues are addressed. The information presented can include product, advertisement, detailed product specification, product views and sample product presentation. The cost of making micropayment offline is too high. For all of these reasons, a better way is needed to pay in cyberspace. Payments are an integral part of doing business, whether in the traditional way or online.